Hey everyone, I'm Kim. Welcome back to my channel, The Dolls, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Today we're diving into a fantastic project for the upcoming #Dolly Pride Parade. It's a community event that Payne and I have been planning with lots of excitement. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create your very own Dolly Pride Parade Float. Let's get started. First, let me share the supplies I gathered for this project. Most of these items I already had at home, but a few I ordered from Amazon or picked up at the dollar store. Like a couple of rainbow bandanas with matching scrunchies. Those I'll probably use to make some clothing for the dolls. A packet of Pride stickers, a package of paper streamers. I also had some neon paper, toothpicks, a cardboard box, various types of glue, some packing tape. I also pulled out my crafting tools, a cutting surface, an X-Acto blade, a box cutter, scissors, rulers, paintbrushes, and an assortment of acrylic paints, and a glue gun. Meditation through the yoga lessons, going greener by the minute. So first I prepared the box. I pulled off any extra tape or whatever, and then I taped it up just to create a light, sturdy foundation for my parade float. So I went ahead and made some pretend wheels using round cardboard discs from some packaging that I had to ensure that the whole float's weight doesn't rest on these little wheels. I carefully measured and made supports to fit the bottom of the box, which you'll see shortly. To create a smooth, colorful surface to work from, I wrapped the box in strips of neon-colored paper using glue stick. For the wheels, you could make the float actually roll. I was thinking of gluing like 4 Hot Wheels cars to the bottom of the box. But I figured I'm not really going to be rolling the float, so that's why I made the pretend wheels. So before I glued on the wheels, I went ahead and created a sturdy foam board base. That way the wheels wouldn't have to support all the weight of everything that's going to be on top of the float. So then I covered that with purple paper, just to give it a little bit of ability to blend into the float rather than have that stark white of the base peeking out from below the float. Then I simply hot glued the cardboard wheels onto the box. The next step, I wanted to give my float a vibrant rainbow theme using paper streamers. Initially, I had an intricate idea in mind for how to apply them. However, a friend of mine shared a video from about a year ago by Moody Bratz where she created a Dolly Pride Parade Float, and her method was brilliantly simple and much more efficient than my original plan. So I was inspired by her technique, and you can find the link to her video in the description box below. But after securing the wheels on the float, I measured the length of paper streamers needed for each color of the rainbow to cover all 4 sides of the box. And to make the process go faster and achieve a fringe effect, I folded the streamers several times and carefully cut small strips along the paper. This created 2 fringe strips for each color, giving the float a fun and festive look. Next, I simply painted the wheels black. I just used a thin layer of black acrylic paint.
Even if I told you I could never let you go, I'm not so sure you believe me. But if I mean to show you, I will never let you go. No, 'cause you don't see the logic of things. It's quite a lonely world that we're living in. Oh baby, you are something special, I'm sure. Everything makes total sense when you're next to me.
Next, I used a awl and poked holes into the box to prepare for adding chopstick posts. Then I added a floor piece of paper and covered it with packing tape for durability.
You take my love for granted. Say a bunch of stuff you never mean, yeah.
The next step was to glue on the little rainbow fringe paper streamer strips. So I just simply did it one side at a time, put a strip of glue, and then put on the paper fringe and just tapped it into place before turning it over and adding another side.
Getting closer to just being nothing else. I'm a sucker for your love, even though it's kind of toxic, babe. You know I feel it.
Next, I began to work on the posts. I needed something to give a little bit of sturdiness, but I also wanted to be able to decorate above the box for the parade float. So I just planned on how tall I wanted each of the chopsticks and then measured them and cut them down to size.
Expected to think you wouldn't be so reckless. I keep on pretending I know we better end it.
Next, I picked out the exact shade of pink I wanted to paint the chopstick posts and ended up picking Diva Pink, an acrylic paint from Walmart.
Yeah.
I'll admit this was a little tedious, but I wanted to do a good job. I put on multiple coats of the paint because I wanted to give it a deep, rich color. So I just took my time, painted each stick just exactly to where I needed it, and let it dry before moving on to the next step. Just want to say creating this parade float was truly an evolution of ideas. As I progressed with each step, I found myself coming up with more creative ways to enhance the float. It was kind of exciting to watch my initial vision transform and expand, becoming something even more delightful than I had originally imagined. The process was not only fun, but also a really wonderful exercise in spontaneous creativity.
Sucker for your love.
After positioning the poles on the float, I decided I wanted to create a background wall at the back of the float as a kind of focal point. So I decided to use some more of that cardboard, and then I had this roll of pink sparkly paper that I decided to cover the cardboard with, just to give it, rather than paint, I just thought this would be a lot easier to use. So I got these beads from Amazon delivered, and I'm really bummed that I missed the footage of gluing them onto the poles. But I also, after gluing these string beads onto the poles, I decided it would look really cool on that back wall. So here's the process. I just put on a little drop of hot glue, placed a bead onto the glue and held it there until it dried, and then cut it to length. I didn't want to glue the bottom because I want it to have a little bit of movement. I wanted to make a topper for that back wall, so I just used packaging from a Rainbow High doll and just cut out a piece and then made sort of a half circle. It almost looks like a crown, and hot glued it to that backing wall. So it actually covers the top of the beading, which is fine, and just sort of serves as a dimensional piece to that back wall.
When the sun goes down and the night sky's falling, do you believe in one-time lovers? 'Cause deep inside of my wildest dreams, you'll be by my side when the sun goes
So when I was satisfied with that backing board, I decided to go ahead and glue it in. I just added a strip of hot glue on the back and set the board on top of it. It still was a little bit heavy from the front end, all those beads hanging off of it. So I ended up taking a couple of extra chopsticks that I had already prepped and painted and added them to the back and sort of glued the back of the board to those chopsticks, and that just really added some stability to the whole piece.
through the yoga lessons.
There are a few more tweaks I'd like to do to the float. I want to add some sort of topper to each of the poles. I had gotten a piece of faux fur to add to the floor, but now I'm not so sure about it. I may end up enclosing the top of that backer board. Who knows? We have a couple of weeks. I hope this serves as a jumping off point to you, for you, if you decide to create something like this. Join me next week when I get the dolls ready for the parade. I'll be curating the best Pride-themed looks and creating a few unique outfits, as well as crafting some parade accessories like signs and banners for the dolls to hold. It's going to be an exciting prep session. I hope to see you next time. Bye!
If I keep feeling